This is Jamie with BarI, and in this video we're going to show you the layout of our new reports inside our brand new inventory software platform. So for those of you who are using the old platform, the starting point will be the same. When we've completed your results, you'll receive an email with a quick summary, and then if you click the link inside there, you'll be directed here to the dashboard. And so you can also access this, of course, anytime by going to app.bari.com and using your login information to sign in. So in order to view the reports on the main menu on the left-hand side here, go ahead and click on Reports. And before we look at the individual reports, notice at the top right there are three main categories. There's Summary, Action, and Audit reports. Let's start here with the Summary reports. So the Commentary report is going to provide the high-level detail down in the bottom of the table, a score for your managers about whether they're giving us the information we need, and then some insights and commentary as well as recommendations of what we should do with the reports. You can use the navigation at the top here to jump between the summary reports, and the second one is the product report. One thing to note here is the layout of the product sales, liquor cost, and accountability report are very similar. So if you understand that layout, it will apply to the other reports. So up top, in this case, we're looking at products. So this report is all about what's been counted, but the layout is similar, as said, across the reports. So at the top, you're going to have a summarization by category. So we're going to break down by draft, bottle, liquor, and wine, how many products were counted, what the total count was, and the dollar on hand. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a timeline graph which will show you how the products that you've counted are evolving over time, whether you're getting more or less SKUs, and also you can toggle and see the dollars on hand and see how that's evolving. And that helps you to keep inventory slim when you're in lower periods of sales, and obviously building up that level when you've got periods of higher. At the bottom here, we can see there is the detailed, so we can see which products were counted. You can filter by product view, subcategory, or category, and you can also click here and view the recent count history of any item, as well as searching by name for a particular product. So if I look for salsa, for instance, I can see this bar has 2 items that have the word salsa in it. Moving on to the sales report, unsurprisingly, summarizes sales information by category, shows you the change from the last cycle. At the top here, you can select past dates as well as the most recent one. And then our sales volume timeline will show here. And once again, you can view the sales of individual items, sales by subcategory or category. And if you click on this manage columns, you'll see there's some other options. There's a lot of data in here, so probably more than you need. But if you're looking for a statistic that's not there, good chance you'll find it. Moving on to liquor cost report. This is kind of broken down fairly straightforward. So for each category, obviously your liquor cost is going to be your starting value minus your ending value plus your purchases. Those combined is going to be your usage, which divided by your sales, of course, equals your liquor cost. This graph's a little bit different, but shows how the liquor cost is changing over time. And similarly, you can see a breakdown of liquor cost for each individual item, as well as bringing up different columns. The loss and accountability graph on report is my favorite. The reason being it's showing you where you're missing information and therefore where you have opportunities to do better, cut costs, and improve profits. So in some respects, it's the most useful. This bar is scored an 83 on this occasion. This is kind of typical for a starting bar. And so in total, they're missing $1,000 worth of product at cost. You can see we're breaking down the loss at wholesale, the accountability score in each category, and how many items are missing. The timeline is going to overlay the amount that's missing shown in the bars against your accountability score. We've got some screwy data in here because we were doing some testing. And then below again, we can see how much is missing for each product. And notice that whenever you see these two arrows, you can actually sort the column by that. So if I click that twice, I'll see the items that are missing the most in dollars. Or we could also sort it, for instance, by accountability, see the lowest or the highest. Obviously, we've got some screwy numbers in here, but the point is you can filter these things by a large, there's lots of optionality in here. So you could filter, for instance, by missing servings and see which items are missing the most. Moving on to the next category of results or reports, we see that you have the action reports. So these are intended to take action. You can check your recipes, see what price have changed, look at the detailed product viewer. So let's jump in here. So the recipes report, as you'd expect, is going to show you exact recipes for all of your buttons. In most cases, it's going to be a single ingredient, but it will probably have some that have multiple ingredients. For instance, here you can see a breakdown. And notice you can see the average real amount that's taken for a button, what the cost of each ingredient is, and your liquor cost. The price change report handily shows you which items had a price change during the most recent cycle. So you can see the old price and the new price. Helpful. And also one thing I like here, you can see your overall pricing level broken down. So this bar on average, each serving they serve is cost them $1.02, and they're selling on average for $4.90. And then you can see the differentiation by category here. The detailed product viewer is something that's really useful. So by default, it will load blank, and then you can fill in the name of any product you'd like to see, and you'll see all the information relating to this particular product on one sheet. So in this case, these guys are missing 62 servings or 2.7 bottles. This is based on the fact that previously they had 39 bottles, none invoiced. They sold 17, so we should have found 21 bottles today, but actually found 19. You can see that count is broken down here by your counting zones. We're blending together two different types of vodka in this case. You can see your deliveries, if there are any, and then also the recipes. Again, we can tally the exact amount that's been sold here and see the breakdown by button. How many liter bottles in this case are assigned to each button based on how many ounces were sold, the recipe setting, and the button count altogether. Then the audit reports here, the third category of reports, allow you to look in detail about what data was used to calculate these numbers. So the count report here shows you line by line everything that was counted, what was weighed, what that shook out to be in the total count for that product. So for instance, they've got Seagram's VO, a bottle in the Mega Well here weighed 36 ounces, which is 56% full, and in total they've got 2.5 bottles there. Again, you can filter by name if you're missing a particular product. That's very useful to diagnose counting errors. The invoices report shows you a breakdown of exactly what was invoiced, what the cost was, all of that good stuff. Of course, we can click through. In this case, they've got 7 invoices. So you can click through and see each individual invoice. Here we have the point of sale report, which is showing us which point of sale was uploaded. So you can see, make sure that the information in your point of sale report is what's being used in our reporting. And then finally, the adjustments report is going to show you, we don't like to make adjustments, but to make the numbers make sense, and one of the points of having an account manager is to make adjustments when required to make the numbers make sense. So in this case, the kitchen was using some of this gluten-free beer in recipes, so we spilled or accounted for 31 bottles because that was what was used. And then they were missing an invoice that contained 12 bottles of Grand Marnier, 6 of Grey Goose. And you'll also see adjustments to counts are here. So the idea here is to be fully open book about what adjustments and what data we're using to calculate these numbers. I hope you enjoy the new reports. As always, we'd love to hear any feedback about things you think are missing or things you can't find, suggestions on what you'd like to see. But as always, thank you so much for being a BarI client. We really appreciate your business. Thank you.